Hi everyone. Today we are going to discuss the microencapsulation co-observation phase separation method. In this video, we'll discuss the definition of microencapsulation, reasons or need for microencapsulation, the various methods of microencapsulation, co-observation phase separation in detail, different steps of microencapsulation by co-observation phase separation, and different approaches to achieve the co-observations. See the definition of microencapsulation. The microencapsulation is a process in which a tiny small particle or liquid droplets are coated with the thin film to prepare a small capsule by using a suitable method of microencapsulation. In this microencapsulation, the core material, coating material phase and manufacturing vehicle phase. So these are the three basic components of microencapsulation or fundamentals. So core material may be API or drug substances, living cells or uh, enzymes. So means enzymes, living cell and API or drug material will get the encapsulated with the suitable a coating material. For example, HPMC you can use ethyl cellulose, carbapol 934P used as a coating material as per the requirement of the formulator. Suppose you want to prepare a sustained release, control release. So as per the specification or standard, you can use the a suitable coating material phase in suitable manufacturing vehicle. So this is about the introduction to microencapsulation technique. See the reasons for microencapsulation or need for microencapsulation. So first is for control and sustained release a drug delivery system. Masking the bitter taste or odor of the core material to increase the stability of core material to get targeted release of a drug and improving the handling properties. So these are the some reasons needs for microencapsulation. For control release of a drug, development of CR, development of SR drug delivery system by using a suitable method for microencapsulation. For example, air suspension, commonly known as the Oster process. So this is a very popular method for the preparation of multiparticulate drug delivery system, commonly known as the MUPS. Or suppose you want to layer the drug material on a specific sugar spheres, pellets. So air suspension or Oster process is suitable. So before the formulation of any microencapsules or control release or sustained release microencapsulation, we need to conduct the pre-formulation study of a drug alone and combine with the excipient or other the ingredients. So we will get the idea about the physicochemical, physico-mechanical properties of the drug, assay, then stability of a core material, coating material, as well as the liquid vehicle manufacturing phase. Masking the bitter taste or odor of the core material. So this is the biggest problem with the API. So many drugs are bitter in taste, so you cannot formulate in oral tablet. So we need to hide the bitter taste and bitter odor of the core material. So the microencapsulation is one options for masking the bitter taste or odor of the core material to increase the stability of a drug, stability of a core material. So this microencapsulation method is applicable for both the means solid material as well as the liquid core material. Means a liquid core material is quite difficult to handle and their stability. So therefore, the microencapsulation is necessary. So with the microencapsulation, we can easily increase in some extent the stability, physical as well as the chemical stability of the core material. So this is the one reason for microencapsulation. To get the targeted release of a drug by using a specific chemical moiety, you can target the drug release to the specific target in a body. So to get targeted release of a drug. Then improving the handling properties. So these are the some reasons for a microencapsulation. What are the various methods to prepare the microencapsules? Air suspension. co-derivation phase separation, pan coating, multi-orifice centrifugal, solvent evaporation, spray drying and congealing, and rotational suspension separation. So these are the some physical as well as the chemical method for microencapsulation. In this video, we will discuss in detail only co-derivation of phase separation method. Microencapsulation processes and their applicability. Air suspension. This air suspension method is applicable for the solid core material only. An approximate particle size in micrometer 35 to 5000 micrometer. Means you cannot apply this air suspension method for a liquid core material. This is exclusively for the solid core material. Air suspension or Oster process or also known as the ABP, fluidized bed processing. Then pan coating. Same, the pan coating, this method is applicable for the solid core, and the approximate particle size will get the 600 to 5000 micrometer. Then multi-orifice centrifugal, solid and liquid. This is applicable for solid as well as the liquid core material. This multi-orifice centrifugal is applicable for the solid as well as the liquid, and the approximate particle size will get the 1 to 5000 micrometer. Then co-observation phase separation is a complex co-observation phase separation. It's a chemical method for microencapsulation, is again applicable for solid and liquid core material. Means liquid core as well as the solid core is suitable for the preparation of microencapsulation by this complex co-observation phase separation method, and the approximate particle size will get the 2 to 5000 micrometer. Solvent evaporation, again chemical, solid and liquid 5 to 5000. Spray drying and congealing, solid and liquid around the 600 micrometers. So this is at a glance the microencapsulation processes and their applicability core material with approximate particle size. The types of microencapsule. Generally mononuclear, polynuclear and matrix. So these are the three basic types of microcapsules. Mononuclear means a single a core material. For example, this is a one core material get encapsulated with the coating material, means single molecule of core material. For example, I want to develop or formulate the paracetamol microencapsulation, and the final product of this paracetamol will be a tablet. So the single molecule of the paracetamol get encapsulated with the suitable coating material. So this type of microencapsules is called as the mononuclear, means single nucleus is there. The polynuclear means a more than a two nucleus is there, means 2 or 3 4 5 a molecule of core material get encapsulated with the coating material. So this is the coating material. See, so now this type of microencapsules is known as the polynuclear, and the matrix is a is a combination or the mixing of coating and drug material or core material, is a matrix type. So these are the basic types of microencapsules. Suppose you followed any method of microencapsulation, you will get mononuclear, polynuclear or matrix. So as per the process parameter, it depends on the process parameter. Means mononuclear, polynuclear, suppose air suspension. So as per the process parameter, fluidization pressure, air suspension, then atomization rate, it depends. Okay. So these are some examples of microencapsulated drug. Core material, here is the core material, then characteristic property of this core material, the purpose of microencapsulation, and final a product form. Acetaminophen. This slightly water soluble solid, and purpose of microencapsulation is a test masking, and the final product form is a tablet. Now the second core material is aspirin. Characteristic property is slightly water soluble solid, and the purpose of microencapsulation is a test masking, sustained release, reduced gastric irritation, and the final product form is a tablet or capsule. So with the aspirin drug, the gastric irritation is a major problem. So how to avoid or prevent the gastric irritation with the aspirin tablet? So the microencapsulation. So many drugs are, for example, insulin, probiotics, prebiotics are highly sensitive in a gastric environment. Means up to 90-95% will degrade in a gastric environment, in acidic environment. So there is a need to increase the life of a drug or the stability of a drug in gastric environment. So the microencapsulation is necessary. And the final product form is the tablet or capsule. Progesterone, slightly water soluble drug, and the purpose of microencapsulation is a sustained release. It's varied, means tablet, capsule, or any other drug delivery system you can formulate. Vitamin A palmitate, non-volatile liquid, stabilization to oxidation. Oxidation is a problem. So how to stabilize or increase the stability of vitamin palmitate A? So with this microencapsulation, you can dry powder. So this is about the some examples of microencapsulated drug with their characteristic properties, purpose of microencapsulation, and final product form. Co-observation of phase separation. So co-observation means reversible aggregation, the formation of aggregate by reversible way. This technique was developed in the 1950s by National Cash Register. Co-observation involves the separation of a liquid phases of coating material from a polymeric solution and wrapping of that phases as a uniform layer around the suspended core particle is known as the co-observation phase separation or complex co-observation of phase separation method. Now, these are the very important steps involving in co-observation phase separation. The step 1, that is the formation of 3 immiscible chemical phases. Second, deposition of a liquid polymer coating upon the core material, that is the deposition of coating material around the core material. And the third step is the rigidization of the coating material. So these are the basic steps involving in co-observation phase separation. The formation of 3 immiscible chemical phases. The first stage in co-observation. Now there are different approaches. We'll discuss later on approaches or how to achieve the microencapsules by co-observation, by temperature change, by addition of incompatible polymer, or by addition of non-solvent, salt addition, then polymer-polymer interaction. So these are the different ways to achieve uh, mm, the co-observation. So in every approaches or any method, so these are the this formation of 3 immiscible phases, deposition of coating material around core material, and rigidization of coating material occur. So the first formation of 3 chemical phases, a liquid vehicle or manufacturing liquid vehicle phase is the first. Second, core material phase, and third is a coating material phase. So these are the 3 immiscible chemical phases will occur. So these are the immiscible with each other at a proper temperature condition or concentration. Okay, so formation of simple dispersion of coating material and a drug material or core material in a suitable vehicle phase to form a simple dispersion by applying a suitable method of co-observation. Now the temperature change, addition of non-solvent, addition of salt, or polymer or incompatible polymer addition. So how to use, so which is the suitable method for co-observation? So thorough study of API or core material, coating material, and vehicle phase will decide so which is the suitable. So as per the physicochemical properties of the uh, core material, it depends, means a temperature change. Suppose I want to follow the temperature change conservation approach, and my drug is highly sensitive to the temperature or heat, so we cannot follow. So it's required the thorough study of, means physical chemical properties of the core material as well as the coating material vehicle phase, and then only you can decide, so which is the suitable. So therefore this suitable method of conservation is important. And then a dissolution or co-acervation of polymer molecule and core material. So this is the first step, core and liquid coating in manufacturing vehicle phase. The second stage, deposition of a liquid polymer coating upon the core material, deposition of coating material around the core material. Okay, now by applying the temperature change, for example, see the example of co-acervation. N-acetyl para-aminophenol, ethyl cellulose. N-acetyl para-aminophenol is a core material, ethyl cellulose is a coating material, and cyclohexane is a manufacturing vehicle phase. Now the deposition of ethyl cellulose around the N-acetyl para-aminophenol in cyclohexane. So this is the deposition of liquid coating material. So what will happen? Okay, when you decrease the system temperature, so ethyl cellulose is separated out. Okay, ethyl cellulose is separated out from the liquid manufacturing vehicle phase and start the depositing of liquid, that is the depositing of ethyl cellulose around the N-acetyl para-aminophenol in cyclohexane phase. So this is the step, deposition of liquid polymer upon the core material. And the last step, rigidization of the coating, the formation of microencapsule, hardening of the coating material around the core material. So rigidization of the hardening of the core material by filtration, by decantation, by centrifugation. So the centrifugation, decantation, and filtration. So these are the some approaches generally used to rigidize or cooling temperature. So these are the parameters. Okay. So these are the parameters generally used in rigidizing the coating material. So these are the very important steps involving in co-acervation. Every co-acervation approaches means the formation of three immiscible chemical phases: liquid manufacturing vehicle phase, coating material phase, and the core material phase. Then second is the deposition of coating material around the core material, and third step is the rigidization of the coating material. So these are the basic steps involving in co-acervation, complex co-acervation process. Now these are the methods of achieving co-acervation. As I said, the temperature change, incompatible polymer addition, non-solvent addition, salt addition, polymer-polymer interaction. So now see, the name itself indicates the temperature. Here the temperature plays a very important role in phase separation. Okay, phase separation and then formation of coalescence or co-acervation. Here incompatible polymer addition means the addition of two incompatible polymer. Then a non-solvent addition of non-solvent means non-solvent is responsible for the phase separation. Salt addition, now the salt addition of the salt is responsible for the separation of phases. Polymer interaction, suppose a two polymer oppositely charged two polyelectrolyte will interact with each other at specific temperature condition or concentration. Okay, so these two polymer will responsible for the separation of phases. So these are the different methods, you can say the approaches generally used in formation of microencapsules by a co-acervation phase. See one by one the temperature change and okay, temperature change. So phase separation of the dissolved polymer occurs in the form of immiscible liquid droplets, and if a core material is present in the system, Under proper polymer concentration, temperature and stirring or agitation condition, the liquid polymer droplet coalesces around the dispersed core and form a embryonic capsules, microcapsules. You can see the basic three steps we'll discuss already. Means the formation of three immiscible phases, chemical phases, then deposition of core material, coating material around the core material, and rigidization or hardening of the microcapsule. Now temperature change. Here is the temperature. We have to increase the gradually the temperature and again decreasing the temperature. Here arrow A, E, B. Okay, and binodal curve F, E, G. In every phase diagram at point E, the phase boundary. Okay, so here the one phase region, that is a single phase region, is crossed or entered in a two phase region. Means the phase separation will occur at point E in every diagram. We'll discuss later on one by one. At point E, uh, the two phase region is entered. Means after the point E, okay, phase separation and co-observation, that is reversible aggregation, the formation of uh, precipitation or co-observate form. Okay, so phase separation of the dissolved polymer. Here see the example of temperature change. Ethyl cellulose is a water insoluble coating material polymer, then applied to the water soluble core material. N-acetyl para amino phenol is a core material and solvent is a cyclohexane. Okay, now solvent, that means the manufacturing vehicle phase, is a cyclohexane. Core material is an acetyl uh, N-acetyl para-amino phenol, and coating material is ethyl cellulose. This is a water insoluble polymer. Now at point, okay, means above below this point, means binodal curve F, E, G. This ethyl cellulose is means insoluble in a cyclohexane, that means insoluble in a liquid manufacturing vehicle phase at a room temperature. At a room temperature, but it will be solubilized when the solubility of ethyl cellulose will increase gradually as increases the temperature to the boiling point. Okay, means above the binodal curve F, E, G, a single phase, means ethyl cellulose will get completely solubilized in cyclohexane. So at point A, suppose you add the finely divided powder of our core material, means N-acetyl para-amino phenol, with continuous stirring or agitation at point A. Okay, means clear? F, E, G. Above the binodal curve F, E, G, a ethyl cellulose, means temperature is high, means up to the boiling point. Okay, ethyl cellulose is solubilized in cyclohexane, and at this point you are going to add the finely divided powder of core material, that means the N-acetyl para amino phenol, with continuous stirring, with continuous agitation, and then continuously decrease the system temperature up to the B. So what will happen? So with this, when you are going to decrease the system temperature, because the the property of the ethyl cellulose is what? The at room temperature, ethyl cellulose is insoluble in water, cyclohexane. So when you decreases the system temperature, ethyl cellulose is trying to separate out from the cyclohexane and going to deposit. That is the second step. Okay, so the first step of microencapsulation is what? The formation of three immiscible chemical phases. Second is the deposition. So at point A, the formation of three immiscible phases will occur, and then second step will start. Okay, after point A. So this is the phase boundary. After means this E point, the two phase region is entered, means the phase separation will occur, and the formation of coalescence, formation of co-observation, precipitation will form. In simple language, the precipitation, formation of precipitation means microencapsulation. Okay, means the ethyl cellulose is separate out from the cyclohexane and try to deposit around the N-acetyl para-aminophenol in cyclohexane. So this is the second step will occur at this point B. And the third step, that is the residization of the N-acetyl para-aminophenol with the coating material ethyl cellulose by cooling, and finally the decantation or filtration or means you can use these uh, filtration, decantation, we can separate the microencapsule. So this is the a temperature change approach for the formation of microencapsule by conservation method. Second one is the incompatible polymer addition. As I said, the name itself indicates that the incompatible polymer addition means the two polymer X. Okay, here you can see the polymer X is a one polymer, 100% polymer Y. The concentration is the same, polymer X and polymer Y. So the polymer X and polymer Y, so these are the two polymer is used in this microencapsulation process, are incompatible with each other, and this is the principle of this approach. So this incompatible polymer will be responsible for the formation of coservate, or responsible for the safe phase separation. See, the liquid phase separation of a polymer coating material and microencapsulation can be accomplished by utilizing the incompatible of dissimilar polymer existing in a common solvent. So here core material is the methylene blue hydrochloride and coating is a ethyl cellulose. Now ethyl cellulose is a dissolved in a toluene. So toluene is again the manufacturing vehicle phase, and methylene blue is insoluble in a toluene. Now the core material is insoluble in a manufacturing vehicle phase toluene. Now the polybutadiene. Now the polymer X is toluene, polymer Y is a polybutadiene. So polybutadiene and toluene. So these two polymer are incompatible with each other. As I said, okay, so these two polymer will responsible for the phase separation and the formation of microcapsules. Okay, now when first step is a formation of dispersion of a methylene blue hydrochloride in a toluene, and then add a ethyl cellulose to form a solid dispersion, then add a polybutadiene. So this polybutadiene is slightly soluble in a toluene, remember, slightly soluble in toluene and incompatible with the ethyl cellulose. Okay, sorry, toluene is a manufacturing vehicle phase. Now polybutadiene and ethyl cellulose will interact with each other, means these are incompatible with each other, and add the hexane. Okay, after formation of microencapsules, the hexane is was added, and the microencapsules are formed, microencapsule was separated. Okay, so this is about the incompatible polymer addition. The third one is a non-solvent addition. A liquid that is a non-solvent for a given polymer can be added to a solution of the polymer to induce a phase separation. Okay, here you can see the 100% a solvent is there, 100% a non-solvent is there, 100% a polymer. This is a general phase diagram for phase separation conservation induced by the addition of a non-solvent. See the example: methyl ethyl ketone a solution, a cellulose acetate butyrate was prepared, and in this solution, that is a methyl ethyl ketone solution and the cellulose acetate butyrate, a micronized methyl scopolamine hydrobromide was dispersed with continuous stirring or agitation. Resulting mixture is heated to generally 50 to 55 degrees Celsius, and At this temperature, isopropyl ether, a non-solvent was added. Slowly addition is required. That is isopropyl ether, a non-solvent was added slowly. So it affect the phase separation co-observation. Next is a salt addition. A soluble inorganic salt can be added to an aqueous solution of a certain water soluble polymer to cause the phase separation. Examples is a vitamin microencapsulation induced by adding a solution sodium sulfate to a gelatin solution. Oil soluble vitamin is dissolved in corn oil and is emulsified to desired drop size. Phase separation induced by slowly adding a 20% solution of a sodium sulfate will get the phase separation co-observation. The polymer-polymer interaction. The interaction of oppositely charged polyelectrolyte can result in the formation of a complex having such a reduced solubility that phase separation occurs. Here is the phase diagram for phase conservation by polymer-polymer interaction. 100% polymer at point A, 100% a positively charged polyelectrolyte and is a 100% positive charge polyelectrolyte and 100% a negative charge polyelectrolyte. So positively charged, for example, generally gelatin possesses the positive charge and gum arabic possesses a negative charge. So gum arabic and gelatin will interact with each other to form a complex at a specific temperature and concentration condition. These two polyelectrolyte will interact with each other to form a complex, and this complex is deposited around the core material. That is a deposition of a coating material around the core phase in manufacturing vehicle phase. And the methyl salicylate as a core material is used in this example polymer-polymer interaction. Under proper condition, a pH, a temperature, these two oppositely charged polyelectrolyte will interact with each other to form a complex, and this complex is deposited around the core material phase. So this is about the polymer-polymer interaction. Uh, so this is about the microencapsulation, the different reasons and need for microencapsulation, the different morphology of microencapsulation, that is the polynuclear, multinuclear, uninuclear, and the matrix one. Then the different methods of microencapsulation, co-observation, phase separation, or complex co-observation method, and their different approaches of microencapsulation. Thank you.